Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. I hope you guys are doing well. For those of you returning, welcome back. For those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. So now that I've got my ducks in a row, got my dates situated, new moons, and all that other stuff, it took me a hot second. I've been so busy. So today is the 12/12 portal, so it's December 12th, 2023. This is going to be your daily read. I'm also going to dive a little bit into the new moon and the 12/12 portal as well. So guys, if you're returning, welcome back. For those of you who are new, welcome. Again, I am Nicole. A quick thank you to all the people that have subscribed, liked, shared, commented. I appreciate all your love and support for the channel. It means the world to me. So, all right, daily collective, guys. Daily collective. So new moon in Sagittarius. I kept saying yesterday in the weekly reads, new moon in Gemini. I don't know what the hell that was about. So, you know, if you have Gemini placement in your chart, check that out, or check out the weekly read in Gemini. It might resonate for you. You know, you never know. There's a reason that things come out of my mouth the way that they do. So, you know, this here, our new moons are always about a time of renewal. And with this new moon in Sag, you know, it's fire oriented. It's a go-getting kind of movement, you know, moving forward kind of energy. We're starting to look into 2024 as to what we want our lives to look like, the things that are coming towards us, what we want to do, maybe things that we didn't quite, you know, work out this year, or the things that we realized that we're not serving our higher good. 2023 was all about self-care, learning how to love ourselves first so that we're in a better space. You know, we can't pour from an empty cup, as we always say, right? So with this 12/12 portal, it's about between the 12/12 portal and the new moon, how beautiful that they fall together, first off and foremost. Like, I think that's amazing, the way that those things align up for our higher good. But it is a chance of renewal. And, you know, we talk about the full moon is that time to let go, but also recognize that you're able to let go during a new moon, right? We have to create that space for new things to come in. So if you feel like there's things that have lingered around you, you know that it's no longer serving your higher good. It's time to let those things go so that you can move on and move forward. You know, this new moon in Sag is also about realizing our potential, our limitless potential, how we can expand. You know, you think about the King of Wands. I can't help but, like, I see all this fire energy coming up here recently. It's expansion, it's growth, it's an assertiveness. It is beautiful, it is appealing, it is widely vivacious in so many ways. And now we get to expand upon all of those feelings of what inspires us to take action towards the things that we want. This here also has a lot to do, and we've talked about this. I know I talked about this in the Libra video, I think it was in mid-November, about healing that divine masculine energy. You know, we could get into the politics of it, which I won't do. But when we look at how things are transpiring in our world, there's been a big call on the masculine energy. And to clarify, you know, we all have masculine energy within us, and the divine feminine as well. It just depends on where you are, you know, where you're sitting in that. But it's also about healing those masculine energies, and they can be tied to father figures, constructs, control, you know, emperor kind of energy too, or, you know, where people have lacked to show up and show out, is what Spirit just gave me. But, you know, it's healing how we take control of our everyday lives, how we move forward, what we are exerting control in general in our world. And sometimes, you know, I call it boss energy. It's time to boss up and take control of the world in which we live. Hope and optimism is renewed under this new moon. So it's like starting to set your intentions, and not even starting to, but putting a great plan into action. You've got a massive energy together with this 12/12 portal and the new moon. It is time to set clear intentions on what your world is going to look like. And I would say to you, write them down. Write them down, be very clear, be very concise on how you imagine your life to be, how you desire your life to look like. Because you're going to want to go back, and you're going to want to revisit these things. And every day it's like, you know, we have Taurus and Jupiter working together right now. That is creating space for us to bring those things into the tangible world. So if you're looking to buy a new home, a new car, you know, finding the new job, finding the new person in your life that's going to, you know, inspire you to keep moving forward, now is the time to do that. And Spirit just addressed too, when it comes to, you know, finding a person, if that's you, you know, diving into love, you know, Spirit is saying, work on yourself. Work on yourself. Be the best version of yourself. You know, encompass everything that partner looks like to you. You know, you want to be on that even playing field, that equivocal vibrational energy as well. I'm trying to think, like I made up a few notes so I didn't forget anything. You know, and I just talked about the Jupiter and Taurus. It's like, you know, we want to work on those goals every single day. It's like, what are you doing every single day? Even if it's not a whole lot, even if it's a thought, if it's a meditation, if it's calling in or calling upon your guides, source energy to help support what it is that you're doing. You know, you don't plant seeds and then not water them. So it's the same thing, right? It's how do you water those seeds in your 3D world as we move forward. We also have Neptune squaring with the new moon right now, which is also about, Neptune can be a little dreamy, but it's also about diving into our intuition, about our creativity. It's a heightened sensitivity to a lot of things right now. So with our spirituality, our creativity, our emotional sense, our intuitive sense, taking that time to kind of dig into the subconscious and elaborate on it, paying attention to what it is that we're getting, why it is that we're getting it, and dealing with the subconscious. You know, those are hidden emotions. There's things, you know, it's the moon card, hidden behind the scenes, what else is going on beneath the surface. So it's like you can use all of these tools that are available to you right now to manifest the desires and the life that you want to create for yourself. And there's been a lot about the creation of how we move through life, moving forward from the new moon in Scorpio to now the new moon in Sag. This last quarter of the year has been so vitally important. We've seen all those retrogrades happen, you know, back in, what was that, August and September. There was like 7 planets that were in retrograde. There's been so much astrologically, I'll get it out, that has happened for us this year. And the move from in the north and south node from Taurus and Scorpio to Aries and Libra. There's just so much that surrounds us. And granted, I'm no astrologer, certainly not, but I do, you know, we look at tarot, everything that we talk about in tarot is tied to the astrology of things, Mars and Mercury and all of the other ones, right? The moon, the sun. So it's important that you tap into that, you know, learn at least the basics about it so that you can utilize it to your highest good and be aware of, kind of gives you insight to what is coming and what it is that's going on in the world around you and how it's impacting you on a daily basis, right? So just a quick note on the 12/12 and the new moon. So I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. We're gonna dive into the cards, see what Spirit wants you to know, and go from there today. So I hope your week has been off to a great start. I got 6 of the signs out yesterday for the weekly. I'm going to get hopefully all of the rest of them out today. That's the goal. So we'll see how that goes. Planning on shooting for the moon on those. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Let's see what's going on. Spirit, what does, excuse me, the collective need to know today? 12/12. And we'll get a card for the 12/12. And then for the new moon energy, we're going to use the Sacred Geometry deck here, my little mini decks, because my hands are little. I'm almost positive when I did the split yesterday, I have to go back and watch the video, I can't remember. Authority, there's that divine masculine energy and the sacral chakra, which is tied to our desires. Again, I'm going to reiterate, this is taking control of your life, recognizing what it is that inspires you. Our sacral chakra is tied to our emotional desires, our creative desires, our expression of self in the external world. And I know I've said this on a video or two in the past, and I don't know that I've done it in the daily though. If you're familiar with your chakra centers, the first 3 being the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus are tied to our external world. The heart center is the bridge, or the gap, you know, the bridge of the gap between the external and the internal world. The throat, the third eye, and the crown all has to do with our internal world, how we're expressing it, what we see, what we come to know. So, you know, with this sacral chakra here, and this card is a 2, which is also, Spirit is saying, indicative of the unity of between you and your manifestations. I'm not the least bit surprised to see this card pop out in the underlying energy. And it says the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. And authority, the frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. You know, We all come into this world, and again, a little bit of reiteration here, to be universal love. And, you know, with that authority, we can have authority, but you see people who get a little bit of power and control, and they go hog wild. The ego takes over. They want to rule and dominate and all of those kind of things. When you're in a true authoritative position, you know, the emperor, on a good note, is looking out for the best of everybody, not just themselves. So it's, how does his whole kingdom survive and thrive? Use the example, total mom note here, right? The Lion King. When Scar took over the pride, what happened? The whole, you know, he was like, oh, it's all for me. And it became barren. It became lifeless. It started to die. And then when was it? I forget the father's name. I always think of Simba, you know, again, total mom here, right? But when they came back around, they were able to revitalize everything, because it wasn't about power and greed and control. It was about how everybody was going to thrive. So it's taking a look at your environment, with my silly connotations to these things, and realizing how it is that what you do with love and support and making decisions for the overall good, not just one that is tied to self. Yes, self-care comes first, but doing it again from a space of love, compassion, openness that is supportive of the entire collective around you, while you maintain care of self. I know, a lot of work, right? It's like, how do I manage all of those things? But I'm trying to manage dishes and clothes, laundry, you know, dinner, work, all those things, right? But you do it, and just, you do it from a space of gratitude and appreciation. That, you know, I'm thankful for all of these things, and I'm going to take everybody into thought and consideration, while also manifesting my own desires. Conception and heart, I just talked about that loving energy, right? The heart is that of love, friendships, compassion, coming togetherness, conception. From this space, we can birth everything beautiful. We think about the Empress, talking about the Emperor and the Empress. This is divine masculine, divine feminine energy. That it's when the masculine takes control of things from a loving space, everybody thrives. It can work right alongside the Empress to make everything, you know, just beautiful and abundant. So, you know, you're stepping into your abundance right now. You've got every opportunity to do that with the 12-12 and the new moon. Use it to your greatest advantage right now. Really, really work with that energy. All right, Spirit, card for the 12-12 portal, please. Card for the 12-12 portal. The root chakra. All the chakras are popping out, guys. I would say too, with that, those three coming out predominantly right off the bat, there could be a great big focus around your stability and your security in your life, and how you're manifesting in regards to that space. We think about our root. It is our groundedness. It is our connectedness, that we are connected to everything around us as a whole, right? Same with the heart chakra. But you could be working towards manifesting greater stability, greater security in your life. And you take a look at the world that we live in right now. There's a lot of fears from, you know, how are we going to pay the bills? How are we going to do this? Gas prices are high. Groceries have doubled, tripled in some areas, if not more. You know, and it's then the holiday season. So we're trying to juggle finances and our stability and our security of the self, as well as our families, our homes. So with this 12-12 portal, take a look at those things and go, how is it that I bring that Taurus and Jupiter, or Jupiter and Taurus? How do I create more of that abundance in my life? How do I consistently keep in that energy where I'm manifesting with a loving heart space for my desires, for the sake of my stability and my security? How do I maintain that? Guidance, Spirit just said too, that guidance from, you know, your intuition, from the spirit side, your higher self is there to guide you through this at this time. Again, utilizing this new beginning with that one of the root chakra. And it says, the frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passions and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as our physical world. So this is also too about nourishing yourself, right? Going back to taking care of you. You know, you pour into you, there's more of you to pour out, and you don't feel so depleted when it's said and done. There's that divine feminine energy sitting on the bottom there. All right, guys, let's get a card for this new moon. What does the collective need to know under this new moon? Spirit, what does the collective need to know for this new moon in Sag? Communication. Well, funny, because guess what? Tomorrow Mercury goes retrograde. Yay! Communication comes out sideways and allowance, authority, Gaia, romantic love, and dynamic. Pay attention to the dynamics when it comes to your partnerships as well at this time. You could start to see some of those things shift. Some of you may feel like you've lost some power and or authority in regards to your personal relationships, and it's kind of like Spirit is saying it's time to start to balance the scales back out. So if you're finding that things are becoming challenging in this communication at this time, it's imperative for you to reground, to ground and hold personal accountability for all things that are said. So be kind with your words, pay attention to how you're communicating during this time. But communication coming out sideways, this shit's gonna get, it's gonna get wonky for a little while, right? It could get a little weird and a little like, Spirit just used the word distasteful. So be mindful of your words and what you're saying. Remember that your words are powerful manifestors. So, you know, always be kind with our words and things of that nature. So, and it's also about the change. Spirit's drawing my attention to this. That 5 is about change, which communication is 14 and allowance is 9, which is also abundance. I can't help when I think about the 9s to think about the 9 of Pentacles. She is just completely beautiful and put together and stable and secure, and she's young. You know, so you could be diving into this lighthearted energy of you know, your young self and going, boy, you know, I'm buying myself some new clothes. I'm feeling secure in myself. Like, I know that I can make things happen. I know that I can accomplish my goals when I set out to this. And talk about that love, that root chakra love. It's nourishing the things that are very close to your soul. Again, talking about that home life, talking about the stability, the security. How can you incorporate love into those things so that, you know, the more love you give something, the more it grows and flourishes, and it's beautiful. If you ever, I can't remember the name specifically of the book, but there's the book about the water molecules, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. But it's about how you speak, you know, and as we go through this Mercury retrograde period, how are you speaking to yourself? Are you, you know, looking in the mirror and going, God, I look old, I look tired, I don't feel great. Gosh, that person made me mad. You know, all of these various things. It's how are you speaking positivity into your world? How are you changing the way that you see the world by the way that you speak and think about it? So, you know, and if you want for that stability and security to be within you and then to see it existing in your physical world, how are you addressing it? And it's not just the words, it's the thoughts that come along with those words. So a lot of powerful energy. And this here also breaks down to a 111, by the way, triple ones. So new beginnings, right? Angels, guides supporting you. In regards to this communication for the new moon, Spirit, what does the collective need to know? You know, what I think is funny too about this love card, let's set that there for a second. Rescue and guidance. What was there? Strength. Okay. What I think is funny about this love card too is you talk about the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies. There it is again. I mean, you see her and you see him. He's sitting on his throne and she's out in the water, diving into the emotional levels of the self. You know, it's almost like she's kind of pulling herself out of it though. Like she's in it and she's pulling herself. She's closer to the shore than he is, and he's sitting dead set in the center. I will say divine masculines. If this is you, if you're embodying that energy at this time, your emotions could be really heightened, really charged up right now during this period of time, because it's like starting to ask you what it is that you want. It's not just a matter of you asking yourself, but I also feel like Spirit is asking you, your guides are asking you, what it is that you want when it comes to the emotional heart space. Because change, this 5, again, you've got 2 5s here. It's starting to come in. Tides are starting to turn. You're going to start to see more energetic shifts, especially as we see Pluto and Aquarius doing its thing here over 2024 until it makes a final position into Aquarius, and I believe it's November. So you're going to start to see this Leo card coming out, Kingdom, strength, courage, the tenacity to push through, construct. Again, you look at this, you know, some of you could be feeling a little grumpy right now. You could be in a little disheveled kind of feel. Take a look at that lion's face. He's not exactly the, he's not looking so calm and passive, right? Like he's a little on the aggressive side. So, you know, check with your communication. You know, you're involved in a situation under this new moon, Spirit's saying don't get aggressive with yourself. So again, how are you speaking to yourself during this time? But also it's thinking before you speak in general, especially when you're dealing with other people. Do they make you feel, you know, I'm going to go with the word grumpy again. Do they make you feel grumpy? Do they make you feel a little upset? Are they getting on your nerves? Are you being annoyed? Is it an annoyance about a person or a situation? Walk away before you say something you're going to regret. You know, Mercury in retrograde, it tends to play with our communication. You know, technologies, computers, cell phones, internet, government issues as well. Like everything could tend to feel like it's delayed. So don't hesitate in delaying communication if you feel like it's not going to come out right at this time as well. Okay. There's no reason to put the cart before the horse. You know, is it the horse before the cart or the cart before the horse? Something like that. I can't remember how that saying goes. My grandma used to say that all the time. All right, let's get a little bit more information on these two, and we'll wrap this up for you guys. We're already 21 minutes into it. Hope you guys are again doing very well. Personal reads are open. I have a few spots available yet. And that information can be found in the description box below, as well as the about section of the page. So, and then you can check me out too at holisticallyzenwb.com. Oh, and Facebook, Indigo Moon WV. If you type that in, you'll pull me up. But I posted some herb gift boxes and different things that I put together, and some really amazing deals too on some crystals and things that I've got remaining. So, you know, check that out. Ace of Wands, Three of Wands, exploration, broadening our horizons and taking action towards doing the same. What I love about this, and I forget what sign I think had this in their reading, you end up with the Four of Wands. Celebration, success, 1111, hearth and home, everything beautiful. It's like a uniting of the worlds. It's almost like if you felt like you've been without and you've only had that one, greater opportunity is coming in. And I do, you know, he's made his mind up on that one wand. He's holding on to one wand as opposed to all of them. He's made a decision. He's coming out of the two. You know, we're missing the two, right? 1 and 3 of Wands. He's made a decision, and he's willing to take, you know, the risk. It's putting in the risk, bountiful energy to come, should he be willing to take this adventure. And I feel like for a lot of you, again, renewed optimism and hope that, you know, if you felt lacking, if you felt like things weren't moving, now is the time to start to lay the foundations, those fours, and the groundwork to where it is that you're going. Because it's like, what is the spirit is, what was that, 1 2 pick up sticks, or well, it's 1 2 buckle my shoe, but about pick up sticks. They're talking about picking up 1 2 buckle my shoe. I don't know why of all the things in the world that's coming to mind, but it is. But it's like you're using those sticks to build, right? It's beautiful, and they're stable. They're much more stable foundations as we move forward. So this root chakra, the Knight of Swords, aggressive communication, 10 of Swords. Okay, we're putting an end. We're putting a massive end to the past. I will say to you guys too, there's that 2 of Wands, King of Cups, 5 of Cups in the reverse. Again, I said earlier, part of this is letting go, right? We have to create space and we have to let go so that we can move on and move forward. And this Knight of Swords energy, it's like you still may have some harbored resentment, ill feelings, frustrations tied to past hurt, betrayal, things that did not work out, again, the way that you thought that they would. But I do feel like for a lot of you, there's been a lot of acknowledgement to what it is that does make you, oh my gosh, look at this. The 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles side by side along with the Hierophant. Again, reorganizing a spiritual awareness of self-control as to how you move and what the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups means to you. It's healing. You know, when I see that 5 of Cups come out in the reverse and I got the Hermit sitting there, Virgo energy. Virgo season could have been a very important time frame, and a lot of the readings, Virgo energy kept coming out. So August, September could have been a very significant time to starting to see how the rest of the year was play out. I feel like it was a pivotal moment of massive change, again, with all of those retrogrades that we had during that time frame as well. That set the tone for big shifts, transitions that were taking place. So you look back at that time frame. I will go so far as to say, look at the Gemini full moon that we just had. Look at the Gemini new moon that we had back in June. What was going on in those time frames for you? What was your awareness coming into, what was it that you were dealing with that has now led to this point where I kind of feel like everything kind of escalated and now it's starting to die down, and it's like looking out beyond the world. It's like, okay, this is finally done, but there's still a little bit of healing that needs to take place. So it's about also letting go of any resentments, anger, frustration, people that had come at you. If you've dealt with people that have come at you erratically, angrily, frustrated, they're sharp-tongued, it's like, give those situations love, give yourself love, give yourself the space of self-forgiveness, to let go of anything that's residual that has really affected you this year. Is going to be a great way to start and forge a path forward with the Two of Wands. It's like, once something completes, we can't hang on to that. We have to move on and move forward. But I think people a lot of the times think that if we just move on and move forward and just, forget about it, there's still healing work that needs to be done. I've said it in Taurus's video. You can't skip steps, right? And this is part of it, is actually healing that. And I do feel like there's been a lot of healing and a lot of lessons learned with the Five of Cups in the reverse and the Hermit. Now understanding what emotional fulfillment looks like to you, understanding what security and stability of that root looks like. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. And then you've got the Hierophant of Taurus. I'm telling you, Taurus and Neptune, very, very important energies, because it's heightened. Take this, when your intuition, your creativity, all of these things come into a heightened sense. The sun, it's being illuminated for you, right? To lay down those burdens of the past. Step into that, because Spirit is going to guide you through releasing all of these things that are no longer serving your highest good, so that you create room for the passion and the abundance that is set forth to come. Leo energy twice on this as well. And let's clarify this. What is this, Spirit, for the collective, for the new moon? The new moon, the new moon. Spirit is just keeps saying, harness your power. Harness everything that is within you. That Hierophant showing itself again here. It's, again, reiteration. See, and there comes that Three of Swords in the sideways position. I like this. I will say, some of you, Five of Cups sitting on the bottom yet, where you feel like you've been taken advantage of, taken for granted. I commend so many of you, because you really have put on a brave face and pushed through and pushed forward in anything that was painful, and just, Spirit is reutilizing the word distasteful, so that's going to resonate with somebody out there. But the Hierophant is a spiritual leader, a spiritual warrior, right? He is a teacher. He is a governing. He is authoritative. He is understanding and willing to lead and set things to be, it always reminds me of the Justice card, of what is going to be fair and balanced. It is, hey, here I am, pay attention. I also see that Hierophant too as, not just spiritual leaders, but could be clergy, preachers, your spiritual awareness about yourself, your religious practices, whatever it is for you that strikes a chord. And it's like, you have sought this higher guidance for the sake of healing. And for some of you, I think it's been extremely trying. You sometimes may not have known what to do or how to go about it, but it has happened. And under this new moon, Spirit is re-emphasizing, continue to heal, continue to put in the work, because you're not done yet. You're not done. This is just the beginning of new possibilities. One more card, please, Spirit. Whoa. See, this Six of Pentacles in the reverse landed over here with this Knight of Swords and this Ten of Swords. I'm going to leave it lay there because of the way it came out. Spirit, again, is asking you that if it's out of balance, right, that Six of Pentacles is out of balance, somebody's been a taker rather than a giver. So, whatever side of the coin you sit on, ask yourself how you ended up in that situation to begin with. What's underneath there is the Emperor taking control of that healing. That there's that Sag energy. You see, the Eight of Cups walking away to get to that space of healing and power and control back of your own world, taking in your own truth, clarity, and victory. There's a victory in that with that Ace of Swords. It's carrying that sword forward. Can't make it up. Same card. Eight of Cups. I really feel Temperance, again, showing itself at the bottom of the deck. You guys really are walking away from these things. And I think that, You know, healing is taking place under this Sag new moon. It's the realization that the sun is going to shine again. It's the balance between earth and water, and it's coming in beautifully. It's dealing with those subconscious emotions that are laying beneath the surface. Some of you may get sent back to, with this Mercury in retrograde, Spirit just brought this to my attention, might get sent back to old past situations, friendships, relationships, and realize the healing that has happened, or how you have changed over the decades, as to how very different everything is, and realizing that you're nowhere near where you used to be. Yes, you've learned some massive and hard lessons. 30:30 on the clock a second ago. What a brave face, like standing in your own power. You know, that lion in the Leo card, he's crowned. He's being crowned for his successes and his achievements, for being courageous, for being bold, for taking control of his personal world. You have no control over anything else but you. But he also empowers. And by the way of taking care of you, you're going to empower other people. So, you know, I feel like that's your message, guys. I love this. It's beautiful energy to be in. Just what a wonderful day to harness the power of what you're capable of doing and how you're setting your intentions moving forward. Utilize it. Make it the best thing ever for yourself, so that you're moving into 2024 with a whole new vision, a whole new plan, a whole new level of stability, security around your finances, your home, your material world, and not just that, but incorporating the aspect of love, compassion. You know, be authoritative, but do it kindly. Be authoritative, do it with love. The Spirit keeps showing me that paw of the lion, like you watch cats play. They could put their claws out and do it lovingly, and, you know, to softly get your attention. Other cats are just psycho, and, you know, they'll just slash you. That kind of thing. Do it with the most ease. Do it with the most love from your space, you know, that you can give. Do things that are going to uplift yourself and uplift others along the way. But the healing, that work that you're doing under this Sagittarius season, it's beautiful. Specifically, you could be dealing with a Taurus, again, Taurus and Neptune, Taurus, Libra, hearth and home, right? The tangible as well. Temperance, Sag. We are in Sagittarius season. This is our new moon in Sag. So, all right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found this video to be helpful for you. If you have, subscribe, like, share, comment. Let me know how you're doing, or what your manifestation ritual or practice will be under this new moon. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Again, feel free to reach out, holisticallyzenwv.com, and at the about section and description box of the page here. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye.